The newest story trailer for 007 First Light dropped just a few days ago, and if there's one thing it's screaming loud and clear, it's that we are not getting the legendary James Bond this time. Not that ice-cold, flawless operative we've watched dominate the biggest screen for decades. No, this is a young, raw, hungry to prove himself Bond. A James Bond who hasn't earned his 00 status yet, and he has to fight for it.
How does that sound?
When do I start?
This isn't about being 007, it's about becoming 007. And that's the beating heart of this game. In 007 First Light, we are stepping into the shoes of a 26-year-old James Bond, the youngest version of the character in franchise history. And at this point in his life, he's not a super spy. He's a gifted but rebellious Royal Navy air crewman, talented, sharp, confident, but also impulsive, unpolished, and not exactly great with authority. After carrying out a high-risk operation in Iceland, he catches the attention of MI6, and more importantly, M. That mission becomes his entry point into the newly revived 00 program, but he's not entering as a finished product, he's entering as potential. Inside MI6, Bond is seen as inexperienced, unrefined, and aggressive. Someone who improvises too much and follows protocol too little. He doesn't naturally fit into the rigid structure of British intelligence. In a place where obedience is expected and initiative isn't always rewarded, Bond feels like a bullet without a target. And to shape him, MI6 assigns him to someone completely opposite. John Greenway, a former 00 agent and now the training officer of the program. Disciplined, controlled, calculated. A man who believes in rules, structure, and precision. His philosophy clashes almost immediately with Bond's instinct-driven approach in the field.
He is not ready.
And that tension right there feels like one of the core foundations of the story. The hunger of a rookie agent trying to prove himself, colliding with the discipline of someone who's already survived the job. Interestingly though, M doesn't see Bond as a liability, she sees potential. Where others see recklessness, she sees instinct. Where others see maturity, she sees adaptability. M believes Bond has the ability to handle chaos by trusting his own judgment, even when it breaks protocol.
No son of 009.
We need to inform M.
No time. I'm going after him. Make him call off the attack.
Are you out of your mind?
I'll be careful.
So, throughout the story, Bond is caught in the tension between structure and instinct, discipline and improvisation, control and chaos. The main narrative kicks off with a mission to capture 009, a former British agent who's gone rogue. But this isn't just some random traitor. 009 is experienced, intelligent, strategic, and always one step ahead. What starts as a targeted operation slowly expands into something much bigger, a global conspiracy, one that reaches into the heart of government systems. And at that point, it's no longer just about catching a rogue operative. It becomes a defining moment for Bond, because this mission is his test. Not just of a skill, but of judgment, of restraint, of growth, or whether he truly deserves the 00 title. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Bond's evolution isn't just happening in cutscenes, it's happening through gameplay. Considering IO Interactive's work on the Hitman series, we already know they understand systemic stealth design. They know how to build levels where planning, positioning and patience matters. But this isn't Agent 47, this is Bond, which means the gameplay isn't just about silent perfection.
If he doesn't make an appearance in the next 10 minutes, he can watch from down here. And you are?
You can eavesdrop, manipulate conversations, bluff your way through security, use gadgets or go loud when things fall apart. And since this Bond isn't fully formed yet, chances are the gameplay won't always reward perfection. You might make mistakes, improvise under pressure, or recover from chaos instead of avoiding it completely. And that mirrors the character. He's learning and we are learning with him.
Hey,
Housekeeping, I presume?
And that's what makes 007 First Light so interesting to me. It doesn't want to hand us a flawless icon. It wants to show us the process, the friction, the failures, and the choices that shape him. Because legends aren't born finished, they're built. 007 First Light is set to release on May 27, 2026. As more details drop, I'll break them down and keep you updated. If you're into a stealth gameplay, espionage thrillers, and character-driven action, this is definitely one to keep your eye on. Thanks for watching, and until next time, stay in the shadows.